You still feel that way, Senator? Stupid?
Yeah, more than ever. It's look, first of all, it's not even constitutional. It's logic tells you that, okay? The automatic consequence of impeachment and trial, if you're convicted, the automatic consequence of it is you're removed from office. That's the automatic consequence of this process. How can you put someone through a process where the automatic consequence of it is impossible? You can't remove Donald Trump from office. He's not in office. The second is, we've got all these important issues in this country. We've heard all these months and years about how the virus needs to be dealt with, and I agree. The economy's been hurt by it. I agree. National security threats, nominations, all these things we should be working on. And instead, we're going to spend from 1 o'clock till 7 or 8 p.m., 6 nights a week for as long as it takes on an impeachment trial. And they're going to tell you we can walk and chew gum. When they were doing the first impeachment trial a year ago, they wouldn't let us move nominations. They wouldn't let us move legislation. They said they didn't want the day distracted. So, you know, that was their view of it then. The third is it stokes the fire. This is a country that's already deeply divided. Politics has become very emotional. People literally hate each other in this country over politics. And now on top of that fire, we're going to pour all of this gasoline and really get it going hotter. And you know, the last point I would make is it is pretty typical in the third world that after someone's out of office, they lose, they leave. The party that takes power then prosecutes them. It happens all over the world. And that's the precedent we're creating here now, that we're creating the precedent where we are going to have future political majorities in Congress pursuing the previous president, maybe even threatening that president while they're in office, that they're going to impeach him after they leave if they don't do this or they don't do that. So there's a lot of reasons why this is stupid and a terrible idea for the country. This actually isn't just a waste of time. It's going to hurt America.
But isn't that Donald Trump's doing, though, Senator? Do you think that he provoked that crowd when he was saying these are the things events that happen when a sacred landslide election victory is so unceremoniously and viciously stripped away from our great patriots? That he
and Donald Trump is a private citizen.
There should be some punishment. Do you think he should be punished for those remarks?
Yeah. So if someone makes those remarks, he's a private citizen. So he's now the reason why we have impeachment is the following. You can't charge a president. So you have to remove them from office, and then they're subject to criminal penalty. That's why Ford had to pardon Nixon, because after he resigned, he could have still been prosecuted. If the president did something that rises to that level, as these folks so strongly believe, then the criminal justice system and the civil system is in place to pursue.
Do you believe
the reason
these
why the
remarks
impeachment
were
process
6 months earlier, though, Senator? If they were 6 months earlier, and I understand what you're saying about the timeline here, that now you're dealing with a former president, but that he had said the exact same thing and triggered a riot that happened on January 6th, let's say on June 6th. Do you think that impeachment proceedings against him would have been warranted?
Well, on the basis of these facts, you know, that's why you would have to have a trial at that point. But here's why that trial would be different than what's happening now.
Just his language,
that person
Senator,
is in
just
office.
His language.
No, it isn't.
His language was incendiary enough?
Well, I think that there's no doubt that the president bears some responsibility for what happened. I think what happened was a foreseeable consequence, not just of what he said, but all the events leading up to it. But here's the point. If he's president of the United States, you can't charge him criminally. You can't. You have to impeach him, remove him, and then you can charge him criminally. In this case, he is now a private citizen. And if he committed wrongdoing while he was president, then the criminal justice system can deal with that. But this is not the right use of Congress's time. It's vindictive. This is all about the left's demand for revenge. And I'm going to be frank, some of the people out there in the political entertainment business, this is about ratings and about clicks, because this is another drama story that adds to the show. And I just think it's a terrible thing for the country. But they're going to put us through it because this is exactly what their base is demanding.
You know, it could help, as I was raising with Senator Warner, sir. It could actually help Donald Trump. It seems unlikely, and you know the read of votes among your colleagues far better than I, that he would be convicted in the Senate. So he could go ahead and, if he wanted to, run for office again, maybe a third-party run again. What do you think if he does either?
If he does either what? I'm sorry.
Run for president.
If he runs again? He's a private citizen. He has every right to run again. And this idea that we need to do this so we can disqualify him, it's arrogance. Who are we here in the Senate or in those guys over in the House? Who are we to tell the American people, here's who you can vote for and here's who you can't? Let me tell you, if Donald Trump did as terrible a job as the Democrats think he did, if history is going to reflect so poorly on him as they believe and they say it is, then what are they worried about? Then why do they have to do that? Because the only way Donald Trump can ever be president again is if people vote him into office, if they elect him, the people. And so I just don't, again, it's a tremendous arrogance on their part to decide we're going to disqualify you from office. This is a vengeance play. That's all this is. This is all about vengeance and retribution, because that's what the radical left is demanding of their party leaders. And I would imagine it's also an opportunity for some House members to get some free national airtime, during this impeachment trial.